For so many years now, one of the most popular conversation topics you hear in the dating space is how when a woman begins to out-earn her man, he suddenly becomes insecure. This happens because men expect these women to become disrespectful. So as a result of that expectation, they begin to act weird, they begin to withdraw, and sometimes they begin to disrespect their wives for absolutely no reason. But there's a different conversation topic that nobody talks about that is very similar to this one. And that is the topic of how women begin to act when a man's sexual market value increases. This could happen when a man begins to look better. For example, he goes to the gym for a couple of years and he works on his body and suddenly he has more eyes on himself. Or a more prevalent reason is when a man's finances multiply tenfold, right? And nobody has these conversations because they automatically assume that since women love financially buoyant men, then if her man becomes 20 times more financially buoyant, that should mean she's 20 times happier. But that, my friends, is not always the case. Nobody talks about how some of these women become manipulative, emotionally manipulative, disrespectful, and just begin to cause trouble when their man is breaking through in certain aspects of life. In this video, I talk about the most dangerous woman any man can end up with. And the reason why she's the most dangerous is because you almost never know she's this type of woman until months or years into the relationship or marriage. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is insecurity in and of itself. Feeling insecure as a human being, even though social media tries to paint it as this horrible crime, like what happened to your self-esteem? Why would you feel jealous or why would you feel less than when you meet someone who is more than yourself? The reality is every human being is prone to feeling insecure once in a while. The feeling in and of itself is not wrong. It's kind of how the Bible says temptation isn't wrong, but falling for it is. So feeling insecure, the feeling itself is not wrong. It's every human being has felt insecure at certain points in their life. But what you do as a result of this feeling is where the problem lies. I'll start from a man's perspective. Like the example I gave earlier, if as a man, your wife begins to make, let's say you made 250k a month and she made 200k a month, right? And then suddenly she begins to make 600k a month, which is 3x her former salary. The fear of, oh my God, I've seen this happen so many times. A woman begins to out-earn her man and suddenly she begins to disrespect him and she begins to look at other men. You've seen it happen so many times that you begin to feel insecure and a little bit scared, right? The right way and the only way, to be honest, to respond to this is not by disrespecting your wife or insulting your wife or trying to manipulate her into getting a certain portion of her finances. The only way to respond to this is to remember that you took care of the family with the 200k salary you had previously, right? You need to continue doing exactly that. And if she supports with whatever amount of money she can, then that's great. But if she doesn't, you were able to take care of the family with 200k previously. Keep doing exactly that. And hope that she doesn't become disrespectful. That's all you can do. Now, on a woman's part, right? When a man that you've been with for maybe a few years or a few months begins to level up really quick and you notice his options begin to increase, more attractive women like him now, like he's able to go to places he couldn't go to before, and you feel the fear of potential loss. This guy can leave me at any point. I know I'm attractive, but there are women who are way more attractive than myself, maybe younger than myself, thicker than myself. The feeling of insecurity that comes as a result of that is not bad. It's normal. It's a normal way to feel. But there are ways to respond to that insecurity, right? You could make jokes to your man and say, oh, now that you have leveled up, you want to leave me, but I thought I was your baby. Then a man who cares about you would say, of course you're my baby. I'm not leaving you for anybody, right? A man who cares about you or who is emotionally mature would say that to you. But the problem is, from my personal experience and from the experience of so many guys in my consultation, because the reason I'm making this video is there was a conversation I had, I think 4 days ago with one guy in my consultation. And once we had that conversation, I just remembered certain other instances where this exact thing had happened, where a man's status changes from okay to amazing. And instead of his woman to love him more or to maybe be appreciative of that increase, she becomes very vindictive and very manipulative. So a good number of women, not all obviously, do certain things when these men upgrade. The first thing is they try to bring you down to earth. One of the most stupid things I've ever heard. But they genuinely try to belittle you and bring you back down to earth. These would include things and words and insinuations, because it's mostly insinuations, right? Women are very indirect. So they would insinuate certain things that make you feel less than. They would insinuate or say certain things to bring down your confidence. The second thing some women would do, and this is the dumbest thing to me personally, any woman who does this to me is just playing. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Second thing some women do is try to insinuate that they have so many other options in men than yourself. Talking from personal experience, when you try to do this with me, it's very funny because in my head I'm like, I'm a guy and I know how other guys think. If you have 100 guys hitting you up every single day, maybe 5 or 4 want to take you serious. 96 others just want to smash. How do I know? Because I am one of the 96 others to other women. That's how I know. So if you bring up the point of, do you know how many guys are talking to me? I don't care, because it doesn't matter. If 96 guys want to smash you, how does that make you more special than the next girl? Because the next girl has the same amount of dudes wanting to smash as well. Because guys don't fucking have we just want to fuck. Like, it doesn't make you special in any way. 96 guys want to smash, 4 want to take you serious, and out of the 4, you probably don't like any. So how does you saying that do anything to make me maybe take you more serious than I already did? You feel me? How does that work? If I told you that I had 100 women chasing me, you would be scared, because out of the 100, if I asked 100 of them out, like, would you be my girlfriend or would you marry me? More than half would say yes. The third thing some women would do is they go out and cheat, right? Why? To make themselves feel better, for a self-esteem boost. It's disgusting, but it happens, right? It happens. The scariest part about women who respond like this is you can't actually win with them, because if you fall for the manipulation, for example, right? If she's able to manipulate you into breaking and, right, losing your frame, losing your character because of certain things she said to bring down your confidence. If you do that, she's going to feel a little bit more secure at the moment, right? She'll feel a little bit better about herself, less scared of losing you, right? But if she feels insecure again, she does the exact same thing. And not just that, for every time she tries to manipulate you and it works, for every time, she loses at least a little respect for you. So you can't win by letting her win, which is crazy. You can't win by letting her win. The only way you can win, my guy, and I know guys are tired of hearing this, is you need to pack your bags. And I know it's easy to say this when it is just a relationship and not a 5-year or 4-year marriage. But I'm telling you right now, there are so many other ways. Because, like I said earlier, the insecurity in and of itself is not a bad thing to feel. You've invested so many years into this man, your time, your money, your coochie. Because women, if you ask any woman, she might not tell you, but women believe that their coochie is an investment. Fine, I know go follow in a fight. But, like, I understand that when you invest all these things into a man, the fear of loss becomes more accentuated the longer you invest these things into that man. I get, you feel me? I'm not fucking heartless. Like, I'm not one inconsiderate bastard. I get why you would feel insecure and not want to lose him. But there are certain lengths you go to that are just fucking weird, bro. Like, there are certain lengths you go to that are just not it. Men do this too. Don't get it to men do this too. You'd see men who want to suddenly, like, sabotage their wife's source of income, or want to, like, almost take a portion of her money like it's theirs just because they're married. You understand? So men do this as well. But this video is not about men. I'm saying this before someone comes to the comment section with, but men do. This video is not about men. This video is about women who do this, because nobody actually talks about this stuff, and it happens a lot. The common understanding that most men have is, since women like money, right, in a man, that means they would like more money when I make it. If she meets you when you already have more money, it might be a little bit better for her to accept you. But if she meets you at this certain amount and it triples or maybe multiplies tenfold, she becomes insecure. And if she's not a truly submissive woman, like I said, I don't think I said it in this video, but the biggest test of a woman's true submissiveness is when your status changes from this to either more successful or extremely less successful. You feel me? I'm not saying a woman should stay with a man who has nothing, but I'm saying her character in and of itself is what would tell if she's truly submissive. You feel me? A woman can leave a man who doesn't have the money to take care of her. Doesn't make her less submissive. But her sitting down in that relationship and disrespecting him, insulting him, belittling him, those are the things that, like, you don't want to see in a woman that you want to be with, long term. Those are things that you don't want to see. You get what I'm saying? So a true test of her submissiveness is, how does she react to those massive increases in your success? Now that many people want you, how does she react? Do you understand what I'm saying? You can feel insecure as a woman, understandable. But when you go as far as trying to belittle this man, that's scary. And that is the scariest woman to me, because how on earth do you know that that's who she is until she shows you that that's who she is? What do you want to vet? Because guys talk, see, vetting is good, don't get it twisted. But guys talk a lot about vetting. And it's like, there's only so much you can vet in a woman. If personally, myself as a guy, if I am vetting for a woman or a wife, things I'm looking at are things like her relationship with her parents, how strong like the bond is, the relationship of her parents with each other, do you understand? And then her relationship with social media as well, right? Those are like the few things I would look at, because everything else doesn't really give you that much information, to be honest. It doesn't. Even body count, I feel like at some point, but obviously like when the body count is crazy for sure, but like if you're looking at a body count of a virgin, which is 0 to let's say 8 or 9, I guarantee you, right, the differences are not that big. It's sad to say, but it's true. The differences between 0 to 9 in who she truly is not that big. I'm telling you. Because you would see virgins, right, who are virgins, then they get married and lose their virginity, and then off to the streets. All the experiences they wish they had in their 20s, they begin to have it within their marriage. Dude, within their marriage. You feel me? So vetting is amazing, but I'm saying when it comes to a woman like this, you can't really vet for it. And that is why I think the insecure woman that reacts like this is the most dangerous woman any man can end up with. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you want to talk to me one-on-one via consultations about your girlfriend or about women, hit the second link in the description and we can make that happen. For business specifically, hit me up at rizzyefff@gmail.com and we can work. I will see you guys in the next one. It could be.